Alan, he can use Windblade, Derek says worriedly. He said it himself, Derek. Didn't you hear? He challenged me to a duel using arcane energy. Aiden smirks, clearly afraid of Derek's reaction. If he's worried about retaliation, he shouldn't be using his position to bully others. Don't worry, I can handle this trash, Alan replies coldly. At 11, he's grown sturdier and more imposing. Seeing Alan's confidence, Aiden is intimidated but reassured that Alan can't use physical attacks, and he smirks. Others draw a circle on the grass to mark the duel area. Alan and Aiden stand inside the circle, ready to fight with arcane energy. Aiden keeps his distance, fearing Alan might charge at him. The duel starts. Aiden channels arcane energy, forming a wind blade. The small, crescent-shaped green blade sweeps towards Alan's legs. Aiden knows his wind blade is slow and might be dodged, so he aims to injure Alan's legs to immobilize him. Alan, in excellent shape, rolls away and dodges the attack. Let's see how long you can keep dodging, Aiden says, creating a larger wind blade and aiming at Alan. Aiden's arcane energy is weak compared to others. Alan could dodge even the fastest wind blades from Orand, let alone Aiden's. Aiden releases 5 wind blades. Only one tears Alan's sleeve. The others miss. Just dodging, Aiden, enraged, sends more wind blades. Alan continues to dodge. Minor cuts appear, but he keeps moving. Soon, Aiden's wind blades lose power and slow down. Alan can even endure a wind blade without much trouble. After over 20 wind blades, Aiden's arcane energy is nearly depleted, only damaging Alan's clothing. Always dodging. What's the use? Aiden stops, silenced by Derek's glare. Done. This is boring. I'm finished. Aiden, exhausted, decides to quit. Finished? Are you surrendering? Alan sneers, planning to teach Aiden a lesson. Surrender? To someone like you? You can't even hurt me. I've made you suffer, so I win. Aiden retorts shamelessly. Who says I can't use arcane energy? Alan smiles and approaches Aiden. Aiden panics, thinking Alan will punch him. He breaks into a cold sweat and says, We agreed on an arcane energy duel. You can't cheat. I am using arcane energy. Now let me show you. Alan begins channeling arcane energy, gathering wind elements into his palm. A light blue airflow swirls and surges. Alan controls the blue airflow and sends a gust of wind toward Aiden. Alan doesn't need to chant spells to use arcane energy. This wind airflow is faster than usual. Aiden, caught off guard, drops to the ground, thinking he's being punched. After a moment, Aiden realizes nothing is happening, stands up, and hears his companions surprised by Alan. One says, Wind airflow? Was that really wind airflow? It seems so, but it's different. Usually, only those who master it well can use arcane energy without chanting, another boy says. You can use arcane energy now. Aiden says nervously, pale. If Alan can use it, it's terrifying. Yes, but I only know wind airflow, Alan admits, looking at Aiden with interest. Wind airflow? You think you can defeat me with that? Aiden laughs, realizing the situation. Then let me show you, Alan says. He had been dodging to deplete Aiden's energy, now using his mastered arcane energy up close. Wind airflow is almost harmless, but persistent airflow can be uncomfortable. Alan's hand acts like a fan, continuously blowing wind airflow at the exhausted Aiden. Without energy, Aiden can only run, but eventually collapses, covering his head. Alan doesn't stop. Using wind airflow consumes no energy. He blows dirt and grass onto Aiden, covering him in mud. The strong wind makes it hard for Aiden to breathe, forcing him to open his mouth, which Alan fills with mud. I surrender, please. Stop, Aiden begs, shivering and unable to endure the wind. Surrender. I'm not done having fun. Alan wants to give Aiden a thorough lesson. Alan, please, I surrender. I won't do it again. For our town. Aiden, covered in mud, begs, looking miserable. You didn't mention our town when you humiliated me earlier. If you do this again, I won't forgive you. Now get lost, Alan says coldly. The others, seeing Derek's approval, help the muddy Aiden up and hurry away. Aiden stumbles and falls, dragging his companions with him, all covered in mud. Ha, that was satisfying. Alan, you're amazing. Derek laughs heartily. Alan maintains his former dominant aura. Of course. Alan smiles, looking at his torn clothes with a bitter smile. Considering the relief, damaged clothes don't seem much. Alan, with your physical fitness, why not consider becoming a warrior? I heard ordinary people practicing combat skills might also release chi, Derek suggests. I just love arcane energy, Alan replies. His passion for arcane energy is strong. Otherwise, he wouldn't have trained for 2 years with no progress. Heh, if not for the contract, you might have mastered both magic and combat. Dual cultivation is rare, but people who master both aren't outstanding in either, Derek says. Among his peers, Derek admires Alan the most. If not for Alan's dedication, Derek wouldn't be so serious about training. Alan has never considered dual cultivation. He just loves arcane energy and enjoys wearing his luxurious robe, standing at the pinnacle, chanting spells passionately and releasing splendid arcane energy.